How would you feel if I told you that your lack of discipline isn't because of your terrible willpower, but a simple set of habits that hide in plain sight? Because in reality, discipline doesn't require a top 1% mentality, but 90% of people never reach their discipline goals. And these 4 innocent habits that you engage in every day are the culprits. But eliminating them will not just make you drastically more disciplined, but will put you ahead of 90% of people who don't even know they're falling victim to them. Now I'm gonna start with this habit because it actually unveils one of the biggest misconceptions about productivity and success in the modern age. For most people, work, discipline, and success are based entirely off how much stuff you do. So they go out to their 9 to 5, armed with their fancy task management systems, and try to do every minute task until that list is squeaky clean. This looks like insane productivity levels looking from the outside, but in reality, it's like trying to carry 100 boxes at once. When you have 1 box to carry, you focus all of your energy onto that one thing, and you can get it done super fast and easily and efficiently. But when you add 10 or 20 more boxes to that stack, you get overwhelmed and don't want to do it. As the amount of tasks you have to do stacks up, the perceived importance of each one goes down. If you have 1 task, that task is the most important thing. But with 15 tasks, you have to divide that same amount of perceived importance among all of them. So not only do you go off and feel like each task doesn't matter, but you get so overwhelmed by carrying so many boxes that when it comes down to do it, you just walk away as procrastination becomes ever more powerful. So this tendency of people to do too much stuff in vain efforts to improve productivity levels is the first thing that you need to get rid of if you're looking to become more disciplined. But this next habit is something that I can guarantee that you fall into because it's rooted into our brains as human beings. We're wired to prioritize comfort and avoid hard efforts because those motives were conducive to our survival in the ancient times. But translated into the modern day, these innocent desires are actively sabotaging your discipline. Take rest breaks, for example. They're incredibly important for rewarding yourself for doing good work, but not in the way that most people do them. Because for most of us, they spiral out of control and they end up becoming a main feature instead of a rejuvenating process. You've just written a paragraph for a work project and you think you need to reward yourself with a small break, so you whip your phone out and scroll social media. But 5 minutes turns into half an hour and eventually you're deep into the doom scrolling void. We all try to hide this behind the veil of deserving it and trying to restore ourselves. But in most cases, it's really just an effort to avoid that discomfort. And the third discipline killing habit is the one that I struggled with the most. And it's honestly the easiest one to miss, even if it does sabotage your discipline the most out of all the ones I've mentioned. I'm sure that you can agree that when you see a sense of progress and satisfaction in your work, it's a lot easier to stay committed and disciplined. It's easier to keep going to the gym when you realize how much better you look and how much better you feel as a result of it. And easier to keep saving when you see the amount in your savings account start to pile up. But when it comes to work, things get a little bit trickier. Because here, there are a lot of things that you can do to fake this sense of progress without getting you anywhere. And the biggest one that I personally struggled with is excessive planning. Planning is undoubtedly a very important part of making big things happen, but beyond a certain point, it starts to get in the way of actually getting things done. Because in reality, beyond this point, planning doesn't get anything done. It just makes it a tiny bit easier when you decide to ultimately do it. Because when this task is something that you don't want to do, this is actually a perfect way to convince yourself that you're making progress on the task while actually procrastinating. Many people will spend months perfecting their business plans to ultimately never reach out to customers. Just how others will draw up elaborate plans of reorganizing their desk space, but will never actually reorganize their space. And this is the most dangerous habit because most of us don't even recognize this as glorified procrastination. And that's why it's imperative that you know that it exists. Every time I find myself excessively planning, I say to myself, now, not how. And it's done wonders for getting rid of my productive procrastination and unlocking real discipline in everything that I do. But there's actually a secret 4th discipline killing habit that is more powerful and sabotaging than the previous 3 that I mentioned combined. And most people don't even know they're falling victim. But luckily for you, this video right here will tell you what it is and reveal the proven system that you can use to eliminate it entirely. So go take a look at that.